guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Jen, and I feel like it's been ages since I have talked to you guys and filmed, really, just because life has been so busy. And what do you know, today's video is going to be me sharing some tips about work-life balance. So I thought I would make this video really simple and hopefully encouraging and helpful as I share 3 tips on managing work-life balance, specifically for me as a high school English teacher. So to help me with this, I do have my laptop over here. So if you kind of see me looking off to the side of it, it's because my laptop has just a few bullet points. First of all, realize that life is not all about making money. In this world, we need to make money, obviously, unless if you are from a very wealthy family and you inherit money or something. But here in life, we need to make money. We realize that. I love how nowadays there are so many ways that you can make money. It's really cool how there are ways to diversify your wealth, but as long as you make enough to survive and to save some, and for me as a Christian to, first of all, tithe to the Lord, tithe to the church first, then you're good. It's okay. Your life does not have to be about making money. And I say that coming from me technically right now, making the most I've ever made in my career. I, as many of you might know, have come from previously teaching in private Christian schools to teaching in public schools. And I currently make just about $51,000 right now, and I'm very content with that for now. There are steps to potential increasing pay, like, you know, level 1 is like 1 to 7 years of teaching, 2, you know, goes up from there. So I'm grateful for the job I have, but life is not all about making money. Number 2, recognize that you do need to be prepared to work. This is coming from a high school English teacher. And if you remember what your high school English class was like, you might remember that there was potentially a lot of work to do. Now, one of my philosophies as a teacher is to not assign homework, especially in the demographic of schools that I'm in. But even still, even though I love providing time for students to do work in class so that they don't have to bring it home, you know, they can do that and they could be fine. But as I get to my planning period, I also need to make sure that I'm prepared for work the next day. I have worked on this a lot, but I really try not to take work home. And I'm sure many of you have heard that from me before if you watched any of my previous videos, but sometimes that is easier said than done. Thankfully, I think this has really worked out for me this year specifically because I have 7th period as my planning period. And so I get through all the teaching, and then I do have 7th period to prepare for the next day or to reset my room for the next day and not have to wait until after 3:10 to reset my room. So that really has worked out well for me. But you know, there are days where I do have to take some planning home to make sure I'm prepared for the next day. So don't feel badly if you do need to take work home to be prepared to teach the next day, because I feel that there are few things in life that are worse than coming to class unprepared to teach students, because if you don't have things for them to do, then they will find things to do. They will run amok sometimes. So yes, do not take work home, but also just recognize that you do need to be prepared for work. So whatever you need to do to feel ready the next day, just do it. One thing that I do is that I do give up probably a couple hours over the weekend to lesson plan for the week ahead and to make my slides for the week so that I'm read up and prepared technically to teach any of the lessons throughout the week because I prepared over the weekend. And because there's typically, you know, Friday evening, Saturday, Sunday, a couple hours over the weekend, kind of sacrificing those or sacrificing that bit of time, it really works out in the long run during the week because I'm not every night preparing slides for the next day or preparing, you know, what I need to present for the next day. And tip number 3 is that you need to determine your priorities. So kind of hearkening back to that idea of realizing that life is not all about, or does not need to be all about making money, you would benefit from thinking about what your priorities are. And I feel like I've been faced with this a lot since Ryan and I got married in 2022, because previously when I was single, it was kind of just me and my job, and of course my friends and family. But I was, you know, coming home to roommates who we were all independent from each other, even though we hung out a lot, but you know, it was just me. But now it's like, I don't want to come home and not spend time with my husband when, you know, I married this guy and now we're finally able to spend time together, but we both work. So he does work from home, but I work at the school. And so it is really sad when I have to do work at home when I haven't seen him all day. And I'm sure many of you guys are in different stages of your life as well, whether you are single, married, engaged, dating, what my students like to call situationships, or, you know, you have a family with kids. And it's like, we are replaceable, you know, in our jobs, and in our families, that's not really the case. So determine your priorities. You know, yes, it is important to make money, to be prepared for your job, but you know, don't let your job take over your life or even become your whole identity. And I feel with teaching, it can be like that if you let it, where it is your whole identity. And just to clarify, I am not saying that, you know, if you're single, you know, there's no one else to live for, so you might as well work. No, not at all. I have friends who are single teachers and they are some of the most lovely human beings I have ever met. But with that, even being a single teacher, you would have your own priorities as well, like your own self-care, you know? So, and, you know, hanging out with friends and family and things like that. So just determine and remember the priorities you have in your life, and just don't let your job take over your life. So there you have it, guys. Just 3 simple tips that I had in figuring out what your work-life balance looks like. Please like this video, subscribe to this channel if you have not, and leave any comments down below with any questions you have or any tips you might have to help with your work-life balance as well. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.